But he got to learn it with the feet so he knows when and why he's taking that risk. Mm-hmm. You understand me?
Yeah.
That's where people like myself come in because I understand that. And they would say, why you trying? The reason I don't say much more, Stephen, because I don't never want guys to think I'm trying to.
You hating on them.
I'm trying to take your time.
This is knowledge.
This is all it is.
I actually don't know. I mean, my mind says Shakur probably win. But then I see the great work that he did with Loma, or that he fight with Loma, and overcome a lot of different obstacles in that fight. It could be hard for Shakur. Shakur, right? Shakur Stevenson. As they call it. It'd be hard for him for the long range, the height, how big he is, stuff like that. And then what makes me think even more is when Shakur say spar with Crawford, and he had lots of problems with Crawford. Even though Crawford wasn't punching him hard or whatever, but you know what he had problems with? He had problems with the long arms and the height of Crawford. So he couldn't counterpunch like he wanted to. With Crawford. Crawford probably would have hit him hard, but it's different, he's longer and stuff, it's harder. So that could be a problem for Shakur that we don't know.
In today's boxing landscape, few potential matchups generate as much debate as Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson. This isn't just another title fight people are casually discussing online. It's a true chess match between two undefeated, highly intelligent fighters who rely on precision, timing, and ring IQ rather than brute force. What makes the conversation even more compelling is that respected voices in boxing are genuinely divided. Some believe Shakur Stevenson has the stylistic edge, while others argue Devin Haney's size, discipline, and championship experience could tilt the scales in his favor. When experts are split like this, you know you're looking at something special.
Was particularly anxious to fight Shakur because it's frankly probably a fight that Shakur is going to win.
Devin Haney, Conor Ben, there's a lot of fights that Shakur can be involved in and beat all these dudes, man. Beat all of them. Has a chance of beating all of them, right? And solidifying, his mark in the sport. Being, the great of his generation.
The dream confirms what I've been saying. 3-division world champion, former undisputed lightweight, former WBC junior welterweight, and reigning WBO welterweight world champion, first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, superstar boxer, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, Devin the Dream Haney, 33 wins, no loss and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He calls out another first ballot Hall of Famer of his era. Ironically enough, Devin Haney is 27, and the person he calls out is 28 years old, who's another first ballot Hall of Famer, Olympic silver medalist, 4-division world champion, former unified super featherweight, who simultaneously up until yesterday held the WBC 135-pound title and the WBO 140-pound junior welterweight title. At the same time, superstar boxer, 4-division champion, who will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Shakur Stevenson, who is 25 wins, no losses, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout. So Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, as I said, and Devin Haney confirmed it, as you see there, this is the next super fight in the sport of boxing.
There are seasoned analysts who quietly lean toward Shakur Stevenson winning a fight like this, not out of disrespect to Haney, but because of how Stevenson sees the ring. His defensive awareness, his ability to read shots before they're thrown, and his calmness under pressure make him incredibly difficult to outmaneuver. At the same time, those same experts admit that Haney presents unique physical challenges.
Devin Haney, of course, calling out Shakur Stevenson. Shakur saying, anytime you want it, we can get it done. Bob, a little bit of this, a little bit of yakking back and forth, right? I mean, how awesome would that be? These two names,
we've been talking
stunning about this fight for a while.
Tantalizing.
It's
But now,
tantalizing.
I tell you,
it's juicy.
I tell you, this fight now is even
is even more juicy than it was the first time around when they were talking about it. When they were talking about it the first time around, Haney was red hot as an undisputed lightweight champion, and Shakur was the boogeyman who was very good, but was having trouble locking in those big
insider
games.
boogeyman.
Right. I gotta be honest, man. Like this could, if this happens right now, this is the right timing too, because both are at a good moment in their careers.
Very high.
It's actually
And there's a title on the
it's
line.
actually simmered better than it had back then. It was really something that you
just
wanted to
blows
see.
it out
But
of the
now, because of Shakur's recent
Blows it out
performance
of the water.
and Haney still being undefeated and having righted the ship, winning as an
Looking good
underdog,
last time
as an underdog against Brian Norman, I rate that. I rate when you take on a fight as an underdog and you win it. I rate that. You know, that's why Haney, for me, got into the circle of trust, because he wasn't trying to milk the whole business like Gervonta Davis has. So he's taking on these kind of challenges. He's winning them. He built himself up to that level to now, okay, take on all comers, win or lose, take on all comers. He's got that win over Norman as an underdog. You can say what you want post in hindsight. In foresight, a lot of people were picking against Haney. He gets that win. Shakur, in the meantime, makes his name bigger. Gotta pump those numbers up, and he pumped those numbers up by winning the Teofimo Lopez fight. Now, you know what? Okay, now there's an interest from both fighters. A lot more money, a lot more at stake, a lot more, again, ambition. I like to use that word ambition today. And I think a lot more people will be interested in it than the first time.
Devin Haney, for his part, has made it clear that he's open to the biggest challenges available. After Stevenson's recent victories, Haney didn't hesitate to publicly call him out, labeling the matchup as one of the biggest fights that can be made in boxing today. He also mentioned Keyshawn Davis as another potential opponent, showing that he's not limiting himself to one name. Haney understands legacy. He's a 3-division world champion, a former undisputed lightweight king, and still undefeated. From his perspective, these are the kinds of fights that define an era, and timing matters. Both he and Stevenson are in their primes, both are champions, and both have momentum. That makes the fight even more meaningful now than it would have been years ago. What adds another layer to this rivalry is history. Haney and Stevenson have known each other since they were kids. They've sparred, they've shared gyms. They've grown from teenage prospects into elite professionals under the spotlight. Haney has openly said he respects Shakur's talent and always believed he would reach the top. But sparring stories from when they were 12 or 13 years old don't decide professional fights. Fighters evolve. They mature physically and mentally. Judging a future super fight based on childhood sessions would be foolish. Both men are far removed from those early days.
Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but he got to learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is going to mean a lot for him. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You understand me? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I'd say. I felt like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that this is somebody got to teach him. And I would teach him if they ever brought him to me to teach him. But he got to understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
But when you say something bad, they take it as criticism.
Right.
No, son, you got to understand how to not jump. Okay, people know what the thing that dig the hole, the excavator, right?
Yeah.
If you move that thing back too far, you can't reach the job.
Right.
It's got to work, but it got to stay on the job while it work. You can't take it out of, if you working with this, because this part keeps it on the job, the feet. This do the work. If you take the thing and move it back, it's off the job, it can't work no more. So if you move it back every time off the job, it ain't gonna never get no work done. So now it's gonna become boring. Why? It ain't doing it. It started on the hold and it moved to another one. When we gonna get a pond dug? We're not, because it's taking off the job too much. You gotta leave it on the job for it to get a pond dug. And that's his only thing. He a great fighter. He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He gonna be a great fighter. He just gotta figure out how to use them feet a little different.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet. That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You gotta cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that, or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't wanna fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not gonna engage until he wants to engage. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans, and to be
not right now.
the ratings, you got to be able to engage when they need you to engage. You can't, and you can become bored.
Roy Jones Jr. offered an interesting technical critique of Stevenson that adds depth to the debate. Jones praised Shakur's footwork and defensive instincts, but pointed out that sometimes he moves so far out of range after avoiding punches that he removes himself from counter opportunities. In other words, his feet protect him brilliantly, perhaps better than anyone in the sport, but to maximize offensive impact, he may need to stay just a half step closer. Defense in boxing isn't just slipping and blocking, it's positioning. And Stevenson's greatest weapon is his ability to control distance with his feet. If he refines the balance between defensive movement and immediate counter-engagement, his already elite skill set could reach another level. Stevenson, however, is supremely confident. He believes that when it comes to pure boxing ability, he operates on a different level. He sees Haney as another skilled technician, but one he feels he can outthink and outmaneuver. In his view, controlling distance, neutralizing Haney's jab, and landing sharp counters would be the keys to victory. His belief isn't rooted in arrogance, it's rooted in calculation. He studies opponents, he breaks down tendencies, and he trusts his ring IQ to carry him through high-pressure situations.
If y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clause. I don't even do that. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going there? So any of y'all want to fight me at 147?
Yeah, rehydration.
10 pounds.
10-pound rehydration. Like the IBF rule, basically.
You got to understand, that means on fight night, when we get in the ring, they're going to be 157, maybe 158.
Max.
No bigger than 160 that night.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
So if we could get it like, all right, like the IBF rule, 10-pound rehydration.
Yes, but think about it. If there's no rehydration clause, these guys going to get up to 170 pounds.
Yeah, 175.
I'm in the 140s on fight night.
Yeah.
So if I'm 140, they 170. Bro, I'm not. What am I in here wrestling around with these?
Right.
Come on, bro.
How did you feel at 140 though? Like compared to 35, did you feel any difference? Or was it like in your body, like does it feel any different at all? Or was it the same?
Both of them I'm gonna be straight because the weight is easy to make.
Is that, he's on the list, is that a fight you guys are seeking, or are you leaving it alone since he's saying that it would require Devin to get a rehydration clause? Is that something you're willing to get on a phone and discuss how many pounds exactly?
Well, when you're speaking about Debo, you might hear a whole lot of that's inconsistent with things that you say about normal fighters. When you talk about a generational talent like Dev, you would expect those that are elite to look to have, to be on a level playing field. What you weigh is what you weigh, and how you get down the next day is, it's what it's all about, and that's what that is.
Just now, he came up there with the aspect like he's a really big guy, but he's not a really big guy, so I don't want people to think he got so much power and he's so strong, He's not no killer, you see him? Seem like a killer to you? Not to me, so.
The biggest obstacle standing between them right now isn't skill, it's negotiation. Stevenson has stated clearly that if he moves up to 147 pounds, he would want a 10-pound rehydration clause. That means neither fighter could exceed a certain weight on fight night. From Stevenson's perspective, this is about fairness. Without restrictions, some fighters can rehydrate 20 or even 25 pounds overnight, creating a significant size and strength advantage. He argues that if he's coming into the ring in the mid-140s, he shouldn't be facing someone who is ballooned to 170 or more by fight night. Bill Haney, Devin's father and trainer, sees it differently. His stance is firm, no rehydration clauses. In their philosophy, once a fighter makes the contracted weight, what happens after is part of the sport. Fighters should rehydrate naturally and compete at full strength. That difference in approach represents the central roadblock in negotiations. It's not personal, it's strategic. One side prioritizes size control, the other prioritizes freedom after the weigh-in. Until there's compromise, the fight remains theoretical.
Just about Shakur and his I would say projection. The irony is crazy because back when I was helping somewhat mentoring Terrence Crawford, Terrence Crawford surpassed everything I done did and more. Interesting enough, Terrence Crawford mentored Shakur, and Terrence Crawford is on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, he is for sure. But I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford.
I like Shakur in that fight. You know what I mean? Shakur is very skillful. He's very smart in the ring, and he comes to fight every time. So.
I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion. Quite remarkable. And Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we're seeing them in their prime.
Despite the contractual hurdles, praise for Stevenson continues to grow. Tim Bradley has suggested that Shakur could become one of the defining stars of his generation, potentially even surpassing the mainstream reach of Terrence Crawford. Deontay Wilder has applauded Stevenson's intelligence, timing, and ability to control distance. Trainers like Brian Bomac McIntyre have called his recent performances masterclasses in ring control. After Stevenson's dominant showing against elite opposition at Madison Square Garden, many observers described it as a textbook lesson for young fighters. Yet Haney's resume speaks loudly as well. He's taken risks, stepped into tough fights, and proven doubters wrong. When he was labeled the underdog in certain matchups, he rose to the occasion. That willingness to challenge himself has earned him respect among boxing purists. He's not just protecting an undefeated record, he's building a body of work.
Masterpiece, man. He looked so smooth, calm, and relaxed, man. That was beautiful. That was the one boxing lesson that you future guys, young guys and the amateurs just turning pro, watch that, man. That was beautiful. You heard his father say in the corner, "What happened to your fast hands? That shit didn't work."
Just overall, like, just given the styles you know in boxing so well, like, was there any way that Teo could have put on a better performance, a better plan, and gotten a better result?
No, I don't think whatever he would have brought to the table would have worked. But, you know, Shakur just got a great boxing mind. You know, that's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and you want to see put his mind to it, he's gonna get the job done.
What is it gonna take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from that kid, man.
Yeah.
That's truthfully what he's doing, because he's saying that he wants to fight, and he's saying that he's willing to fight Devin Haney. He did an interview on Cigar Talk, said he's open and willing to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney is an exceptional fighter, but he can't beat him, right? Shakur's saying, but I'll beat him. Devin Haney immediately responds, and he says, you're an exceptional fighter, but 1,000% I'm going to beat you, right? Now, here's the thing. Shakur Stevenson is saying he wants a 10-pound rehydration clause, which would mean Devin Haney can't weigh more than 157 the night of the fight. Is Devin Haney going to concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose.
At its core, this potential fight is about more than belts. It's about identity. Haney represents disciplined structure, championship pedigree, and technical consistency. Stevenson represents fluid defense, ring intelligence, and surgical precision. Neither relies on knockout power to dominate headlines. They rely on skill. That's why hardcore fans crave this matchup. It's boxing at its highest intellectual level. So who wins? The honest answer is that it's razor close. If Stevenson successfully disrupts Haney's jab and maintains optimal counter range, he could outpoint him in a tactical battle. If Haney uses his length, controls the center of the ring, and imposes physical presence without being reckless, he could edge out a disciplined decision. Margins would be thin. Adjustments would decide rounds, and one small mistake could shift momentum. Until contracts are signed, it remains a debate fueled by analysis and imagination. But one thing is undeniable. When two undefeated, prime, pound-for-pound talents openly acknowledge each other and express confidence in victory, the sport wins. If Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson finally meet in the ring, it won't just be a fight, it will be a defining moment for their generation.
We had that four-king era, but nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost to he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and Tio, overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by dominating Teofimo Lopez and Xing him out.